Hi there, and we are going to look at specifically user authentication in Django, and this is a feature or a model that Django offers, and it is a secure model or a secure feature for allowing users to log in, sign up for accounts, and then they can change their accounts. They can be able to reset their password, and it is very flexible and very secure, and that is what Django has for us on table. And let's get into code and we see how it is implemented. So authentication is all about being grant access to an information system, and thus this first part of the video I will do it very fast because it will be aiming at setting the virtual environment or setting the environment for us to be able to create this or to implement this feature of authentication, and then thereafter we'll go slow on it so that we can be able to follow along. So setting up the environment for Django can take some time, and let me just do it by copying this virtual environment that I already created some time back, so that I don't have to first set it up again, and thus I can open this in Visual Studio Code, and then I will create a project wherein I will create an application called accounts, because usually user authentication details are always created inside the accounts. That is what Django is always recommending for us. So for you who is not familiar to setting up the virtual environment, that is the link. You can get there and watch this video first, and then you can follow along. So for this, let me just go very fast, and I then create it. I then create the virtual environment is already created. I activate it, and I start a project there. I create an application, and then we follow along. So Django admin start project. I create a project, and then I go into that project. Python manage.py start up. So this app, I first have to register it in the settings. I would go through all these lines of code, but that is the first video that you can watch that can reveal to you all this. But just I'm registering this application that I've created called accounts, and then I register its URLs. But first let me run the migrations before it complains of the URLs. So I have migrated and I've created a database. So let me register my app. I call upon the include, and then I include in this project accounts. I run so fast through this setup, then when it gets to the user authentication part, that's where I will be explaining the concepts of how it is done. So inside the accounts, I create templates, and I also create accounts. In there I will create register .html HTML, then maybe for resetting the password, I'll first leave that, I'll do it at the end. So I've created the templates folder so that Django can get where to find my custom pages. Those are the HTMLs and the CSSs. The CSSs can be inside the static, but for this I won't go much into the styling part. I'll go into the implementation of the authentication system in Django. So for now, let me just go into hard coding these authentication modules. First of all, I have the URLs that I created. I think I haven't created them. I have to create them. urls.py file, and then I extract path from Django, from django.urls. I import path so that I can write my URL patterns. I will have my first link as someone registering. Maybe we'll use this, you know, when writing the URL patterns, we use the URL part of it, and then we go to the view where it is extracting information. I hope you remember the MVT pattern from the previous video of setting the Django environment. So it will have to get the view and then template, and then this is the path. If there is a model, it will be served by the views. So register, then I have register view. I haven't created it, but I will create it, and the name is equaling to register. So let me call upon my views so that they can pick this register view from .views, which means views that are in here. Import. I can import all of them, and then I create the register view inside there. The register view, it can take in the request and then gives us the response. So if there are any keywords and arguments, arguments and then keyword arguments, they can be passed into this register view. For now, I can say pass because I want to test things out, or I can return and I render a HTML template request, then accounts. Inside accounts, I created the register .html. So this is what I'm rendering after calling this register view, and I can test things out by python manage.py run server, and after running server, I said we first type in register. It is inside the accounts, sorry, accounts, then register. So it is that template that is brought because we don't have anything there, but we can add anything inside that, and we say register here, so we can get to confirm that we are on the same or the real page that we want. So right now, let me first create a user into this application. Python manage.py create super user. I can say Josh Allah, so I can Josh is fine. Then I provide my email. I can try to use admin. It is too common. Yes, I need it. Then I leave my server running. So I can call upon the register, and then I get the register page. But what does the register need? The register needs a form where someone is creating an account from. So let me call this registration page. I won't style this much, but I will show the implementation of the authentication system. So I have this as the registration page, and I have to implement the registration form somewhere. So inside the accounts, I want to create forms.py, and I create that form there for registration. So I will say from Django import forms. Then I create a form which is created by class, and I call this user creation form. It will inherit from user creation form, which I can get from django.contrib.auth.forms. User creation form is here. So this will take from user creation form, and let me just make this one different from what its parent form is. I make it a registration form, inheriting from user creation form, and I can say it uses a model as user, and then it uses fields. Maybe let me first call upon the user from the models, from django.contrib.auth.models, import user, and then so the fields will be username. These are defined fields in Django for a user creation view of form. So it has username, and when you are creating, you can say maybe you can need an email. For an email, you can specify it somewhere else, like email is equaling to forms.email field. So you can say username, email, then password 1 as a must, and then password 2 as a must, and then it will give us this form that we need from the view that we created. So we'll say if request dot method is equaling to post. Make sure you do it the way I'm doing it, and we render this form. Form is equaling to user creation, or the registration form that we'll have to from dot forms. Sorry for that typo. From dot forms import. We import all the forms, and then we can say we render this form as the registration form. Request dot we post it. After that, we check for if the form is valid. dot save, and if it is not void, maybe we can print the errors that we shall check from the terminal here when it is running. And then apart from that, we will first render it before checking the before checking the method for it. So we can say form is equaling to registration form, and then we can pass it to this template because it is what we want to show. We say context is equaling to an empty context of maybe register form. We can call it form. This is a dictionary that takes in what you want to be passed through this template. So right now I can pass through that, pass this context there, and if I go to my template and I call upon a form, it should appear there as the form that I passed. So we have a form that has a post method, but then before getting rendered, it should have the token to check to verify that the user is typing in is not a robot, that is a cross-site reference forgery token. I think it's that in full, but it checks for forgery of the site. Maybe someone is injecting into the site some code, not the real names, and then usernames, and then the passwords. So it only wants from us to pass this template, which I gave it a key of register form. If you can remember when I was still in the views, register form, and then I have to give a button, a type of submit. I can maybe just say submit. So if we check on our registration page, we can see that it already gives us what we need, but I can render these ones as a form with as a paragraph format. So whatever we put in there has been done, has been given here, but you can see that Django already gives us these restrictions. Username, it gives us some highlights, requires 150 characters of UI. Email, it can give directives on the password, and if you don't go by this, it won't automatically allow you to continue. So this is the page that Django gives you by default for registration, and you can style it by using CSS or Bootstrap or any other framework or thing. Django has some other best styling options. Those are crispy forms. You can use crispy forms. They have their documentation there, so you can search for crispy forms. Django crispy forms. This link, it can give you how to install Django crispy forms and be able to use them in your. So you got the installation part, gives you so that is pip install Django crispy forms, then you register them into your settings, and then you can be able to use them to style the look of these pages. So this is the registration form, registration page that it gives us, and right now, a user registers, then is redirected to login. So we can do the part of login. We can take the same code here, but then we change and say we need the form to be to be something like the login form. So let me first give a block here, because we can reuse code in when you write in Django. You surround the code with a block, and then if you inherit from this template, you only write this code that you need to edit. So I come here and I say what will change in here will just be the form. So I will surround this and say block. I can call this my form, and then I go end my block from where the form is stopping. Then when it comes to login, I just say extends accounts. Then I'm extending register.html. On extending that, I call upon the block that I had called my form, and then I replace it with the form that I want right now. So I will go in here and I reuse code. I come, I say instead of the registration form, I have the login form. So the login can be got from the views, and they are always having just form as it is here. So form.asp. I won't do much in the views for the login. I won't create the login view. I will just access the login view that is a class-based view in URLs. So from django.contrib.auth.views import login view, and after registration I will say path. If a user types in login, and it will take him to login view. Sorry, dot, it is a class-based view, so it has to have this as view. Then the name, it keeps the name. I can put anything like login. This is to be used for referencing to this link in case I'm writing in my templates. Here I am, the login view. It means right now if I point to login in my URL, I had this accounts, then I say login template does not exist. Okay, so let me first put the template name. Yeah, it has no template. It is using template name will be equaling to accounts. The name will be accounts/login.html. So template does not exist again. Let me look at it closely. Login view.asView, then accounts login.html, and we look at this. Let me get to see how this is failing to get these accounts. Login.html, login, template name, accounts. We shall fix this templates, accounts, login.html. URLs. Oh, it is accounts, not accounts. So here it is. It is appearing, and we can set login instead of submit. Let me call it login, and the title for this was for the other page that we inherited was registration page, but we want to call it a login page. So since we inherited all the template, let me just surround a block around this, and then we can edit that block. I can call this title or heading block, heading of the page, and then this I will name it something else when it comes to the login. It is that block, but then I want to call it login page. So here we are, and we have a view. We have a view that should log in someone that we should write inside here, because someone will create an account and then has to log in. By the way, after creating an account, we should redirect this user to a login page. So form.save and then return redirect this user to a login page. And on login, we can use a certain view. We can say login redirect URL equals to some index page. Let's say we have an index which is the home, index.html, and then we say this is our home page. So we can get to settings, and then we say login redirect URL equals to index or to the home. So let's get to our settings. The project settings, and then we say login redirect URL. This can be dependent on how many users you have in your project. If there are many users or different types of users, we can do that in views, and then we say if a user maybe belongs to this group, is then redirected to a different page. But for us, we are aiming at just authentication, and that's why I will write this login redirect URL is equaling to accounts, then index.html, login redirect URL. I hope it's like this. So if someone logs in, is redirected to that page, and we can give it a try. So let's check on login, and we try to use the credentials I had, Josh and then admin. If I log in, I see page not found. It went through this URL. Sorry for that. Where we wrote accounts, then index.html, we would have written the name of the URL, not the real linking or routing of this page. So we'll say home maybe, but then home, we don't have it somewhere. We can create it in our views, and then we say home view request args quags, and we render a template which we shall call some other template, and let it be accounts, then index.html, and then let's create that template. I hope we have it here already. Homepage, and what we will have to do, we shall give these URLs that path, I will say home, or we say home view, and then the name we give it home. Is a comma being forgotten here, but it is bringing problems. And then we first try to log in and see. Admin, so it comes to the home page. So we can also implement the logout view. The logout view is simple, but right now we can test out things by registering, and then after the registering will be taken to a login page. Maybe let me register someone like Isaac, and then isaac@gmail.com. Let me give this a complex password. So it takes us to the login page where I will say Isaac, and so it logs us in. And if we try to put a wrong password, Django already knows. It will tell us that please enter correct username and password. You can style these messages in different ways, maybe to come in red, maybe to come appearing in a different way. So we've so far looked at registration and then login. Right now let's see if now we can check even in admin. In admin, if we check on users, we can see that those two users are there. That is the Django administration dashboard, and let's log out and then create the password reset process, which is the most thing that people always get issues with. So the password reset process is like this, and I will first use this description to make it simple for us to go through or to go over. We have someone requesting for a password reset. That is a separate page, and then that person is sent instructions via the email to set the password. Those instructions include maybe the token and also the user ID for security purposes. And after receiving the email, we have to be redirected again to this page by using that ID and also that password, so that someone can be able to do what? Someone can be able to set a new password. But before that, maybe let's also implement this password change view, because this is where someone can change their password from, but only if they are logged in. So we just imported it from django.contrib.auth.views. Then we look at path. We say maybe someone is typing in password change, and then uses password change view. Template name will be equal to maybe change password. Let me make it visible for us to see all this while I'm typing. You can say view, then our drop, so that it can switch to a new line if words are too long and you want to see them. So template name equals to change password.html, and the name is equaling to maybe change pass. That is when someone wants to change their password. And we have no this template at the moment, so we can create it. Change password.html. So change password.html. We can first look at the template that Django gives us at first, and then later on we create ours. So that is by removing this template name. If we remove the template name, it can first show us, Django can first show us what it has. And let me see what this is saying. Password change view, it is a class-based view, so it should have as view so if we go there and we type in password, it should be password change. We should see that sorry, let me see what it is returning here. Password change dot as view. Template name. Okay, let's first put password change. Oh, it takes us to login, because if you are not logged in, you can't change your password. So let's first log in, and we say Josh, maybe admin, and then password change is what appears. So this is what Django gives us, and we can replicate this, because all what we need is the form that password change gives us. So you can put this as your title and also this as your paragraph, but then this is just the form. So we can replicate this and bring back our template name dot as view. Then after doing that, change password, we can do the same that what we did in login, because it is a form, just a form that we need. So we are extending accounts registration, then we say this would be change my password, and maybe here there is a button of change. So if the password is changed, you can redirect the person to again log in. So that's a process that we need. So let me see. stop the server and run it again, and password change. Change password.html doesn't exist. Let's look at this. Change password.html, and what is it? Oh, we should have first gone to accounts, and then here we are. It gives us the change password template with directions. So you can see right now we have achieved the login, the creation of an account, and now we have achieved the change my password. So you can change it and then you redirect. So you can look at creating another view that looks at changing the password and then redirecting this person. But change password done, you can also get the change password done view. Password change done view, so that you redirect a person to a page where they can log in. So you see, Django has many views that can help you do a lot. And right now, let me import many other things that will help us to reset the password. This is where the logic, the complex logic is, but we will have to go about it. And then first of all, let's get a form that helps us to request for a password change. So path, and then we can say password. For my, usually call them my names that I can memorize so well. Password change, no, password reset, form. So this is the form that will request for, hey, can I would like to change my password. So this will bring me a view called password reset view.